Actually, I moved to Armenia 1 year ago, and I can honestly say that this was my best decision, the best decision of my life.
The horrific events of the morning of the 27th of September, when you woke up, what were you thinking, yourself and your team? How did this news awareness come to you, hit you?
Yeah, well, actually, I remember that day very, very well. I woke up and it was like 8, 9 a.m. I don't remember. And we are constantly like active online. And because of administrating the Facebook groups, being in these various and numerous chats, we are always, online. And we have this chat with our colleagues. And I read this news, but I thought like, okay, maybe it's like the same stuff we had in July with Davush. You remember, like with this Davush region, like there was some kind of escalation, not war, but a couple of days of tensions. So I thought it was something like that, but unfortunately, like we were reading more, investigating more, and discussing all this in our chat. And our director like was telling girls, we are in the state of war. This is a war. So, and we were like, okay, but because we had a lot of plans for our projects. We were going to have Imagine Armenia forum. We always have these forums for different diaspora communities. So the one we planned was for Russian-speaking communities. Online events, like with different panel discussions, etc. So we had a lot of plans. We also had a plan to go to Artsakh to meet with the government representatives to talk about repatriation processes to Artsakh, to establish connections, and all these plans, like in one day, they were just destructed. They were gone, and we were like brainstorming ideas like how our community, how Repat Armenia can be supportive at these hard times.
And yeah, so that's a very good question you bring up. So what were your major objectives, initiatives? Because your group counted 10,000 members, I think you mentioned in the beginning. So what was
like almost
what was your strategy in mobilizing this community to support, to have an impact, a positive impact in Armenia and Artsakh?
Yeah, actually, what we did on the first day, we collected all the official sources, news sources that our repats and expats should follow for official news. And we collected all these sources, we put it on our website, we spread all social media in our channels, WhatsApp, Telegram, etc. Like, people, this is what you should follow. Please do not follow unreliable sources. So that was our first, task, to give exact information on what is going on. Then we,
And so why is that so important? Can you please exemplify how important accurate news
is? It is very important. It is very important to have reliable information sources, because we know about the provocations and we know about information war and that everything can be hacked. We know how Azerbaijani, government and propaganda works. So it is really important to follow official news and official Twitter channels of our government representatives. So that's why we thought it would be really important for our community. And because we also get a lot of questions until now, like which sources to follow in English, for example. So we provide sources both in Armenian and English, because some Armenians, they do not have that level of Armenian, so that being able to understand the information in Armenian, So information-wise, it's very important. That was our first step. And the second step, we published an article also on our website and through our social media channels on how you should be engaged. And we published these two main donation drives, which is All Armenian Fund and another one, the insurance fund for our soldiers. So we put these two donation links so that people start donating, and spreading all our community, network, and so that they share with diaspora, etc. So that was also important, like how you can be engaged. And after some time, we already saw that our repats and expats initiated their own, projects, not missions, but initiatives, like humanitarian initiatives, and we were like already promoting the initiatives. This is also how you can be engaged, like you can help these guys, our repats and expats, in their efforts to help Artsakh people.
So help us maybe to understand, can you give an example or two of a very cool initiative of a Repat expat that you were helping to promote?
Yeah, actually, we have 10 right now. Like, probably we have even more, but the community is very big. And maybe sometimes, there are some people, they do not use that much social media, and they do not do this advertise, they are not advertising themselves, etc. Probably they have some initiatives, but they are doing it like on their level, not promoting, etc. I'm pretty sure that all our community members are already engaged in different kinds of support. But these 10 initiatives, they are very diverse, actually, because, for example, if I pick two, the most interesting or unique ones, probably the one will be about our repat from France, Marianna Chobanyan. She's a musician, she's quite famous, and she's a member of collective Metz Bazar band. So she's doing this support, she's providing support for Artsakh kids through music, arts, through these very, influential tools, so that make these children, a bit, distract them from the situation a bit, to give them some hope through music, so that they can express themselves through music. And it's like a therapy for them. It's
so
very...
if I understand correctly, so she collects musical instruments and donates.
She has a team of volunteers. She has a team of her friends who support her in her efforts, and they have musical instruments. They have these materials which they learn during these sessions, these lessons. So they go from shelter to shelter, and they do these, workshops, music workshops.
And is it like also a concert, or really, you want to learn to draw the violin, you want to learn to play the trumpet?
It's more like a collective work. They are picking up some pieces that they can do collectively. There are already some children who have musical background. They can play instruments, they can sing. So they just collaborate all together and do something beautiful all together. This is the point, that we should do it with all the children engaged. So basically they are doing this rehearsal part, and probably after a couple of lessons they have some small events, small concert, where you can just listen to some new pieces, new songs. And actually Savannah was telling us that she also learned a lot of new songs from Artsakh children. So this is not only giving, but this is also about like getting something new.
Way road.
Yeah. So very interesting project, and we hope that the project will be supported like financially and with volunteers, etc. Because she also mentioned that there were some mothers who were like very, skeptical about this project, about like, come on, this is war, like music, like singing, like it's not time, like it's not like the real moment for that. And after the workshop, and they were just witnessing this workshop, and after the workshop they would just approach Savannah and tell her that, what, this was really cool and we liked it so much. Our kids, like, they have this eyes of hope, and they are distracted a bit from the situation, because it's stressful for kids. It's very stressful, so they were very thankful. So psychologically and human wise, it's really important to support in this way through arts and music.
I can only agree, because right now a lot of like youth like don't have access to
To
their
education.
to their
Yeah, a lot of kids are deprived of education, of their usual way of life. Of it's yeah, it's true. It's our true story of ours. And the second initiative, well, it is about, we have one Repat from United States, Lucina Kazakjan, and she initiated this very interesting project, which is in Armenian called Berkazurahabak, which means like she created a group of people, volunteers, who go to various families all around Armenia, to different marzes, to different regions, and they collect the harvest. Like they collect fruits, vegetables, because a lot of men are fighting on the front line, and the families do not have this manpower like to help them with harvest. So we have this like very interesting project when you can just join the team, go to villages and just do something good, and they collect this harvest, these vegetables, and they just provide it. Like I know that partially it goes to Artsakh families or to some factories, etc. So it is also very important, because many families are left without men, and they need support.
And can you help us to get a little bit of a picture? Do you have any like head count round about how many families were replaced? How many families came from
From Artsakh,
to Yerevan, to other cities in Armenia? And what is the
well,
situation right now?
I cannot provide like the breakdown, the regions, but I know like the total number. It's already official, so it's 90,000 displaced people in Armenia.
How many?
And among them, there are women, children, and elderly people.
That is really heartbreaking, and
Yeah,
I think there's no limit to how much support is needed, and not only from the diaspora, but we also need to address the international community at large, because everyone can help.
exactly. On the large scale, and actually, recently I've been hearing like that United Kingdom like is going to provide some financial support to medical establishments in Artsakh and Armenia, especially in these hard times of COVID, which is still here with us. Um, and also European Union has already provided some grant for 400,000 euro, but it's like it's very small,
Mm,
like when you consider the what
Need
is going on. Exactly, like it's
400,000, we
not
have
that big.
90,000 displaced individuals. that is around $4.20 for
Yeah, it's
cents.
so in case of the UK, it was like 1 million something, $1.5 million. At least like you can support with this amount some medical institutions with equipment, with medicines, etc. So we again, yeah, we need more, more help, humanitarian help from various organizations. And actually, yeah, our diaspora is actively engaged, especially the diaspora from the United States. They have already sent a couple of large humanitarian, aids to Armenia. Also, people locally, they also help. So it's like it's about everyone. Everyone is helping to some extent.
As our time unfortunately runs out, I would be really curious in one last thing. How does it make you feel to be in such an important position in expat Armenia, and to be really able to help and impact?
Um, in these times, you just feel that, yeah, you belong here and you should do whatever is needed. Like you should work hard and you should wake up every day with this thought in your mind that you should do everything to be helpful. It doesn't matter like what kind of help it will be. You can be engaged as a volunteer physically, or you can do something online, but the cause is one. Like it's like just to help Artsakh people and to do everything to win, because there is no other options. Unfortunately, we have to do our best to win. And this is what we keep saying all the time, that we will win.
And it's a human cause.
And we will win. It's not about like win the war, but we will win the situation. Armenia and Armenians have been a lot of times in troubles, like throughout the history. And it's in our DNA, like to always like be in this situation. Not always, but like a lot of times we have been through these situations of just doing our best to survive, to help each other, to give a helping hand.
I mean, if I may add, Armenians is one of the largest, oldest nations of the world. We have evidence that the people living on the Armenian plateau goes back to 4,500 BC. And I think that tells a long tale of what it means to survive and manage over the century and even millennia.
Yeah, yeah. And we should preserve our heritage, our human capital, our everything. And we should believe in bright future for Armenia and Armenians.
Marianna, thank you very much for your time and perspectives. I believe they will be very valuable for our audience. And let me know if you have any concluding remarks.
All of those, if you will be watching this interview, please, I'm kindly asking you to keep donating to All Armenian Fund, himnadram.org, or the fund which supports soldiers' families, Hazard Plus .am. This is very important to keep donating so that to support our nation and our army. Thank you very, very much. Thank you, Konstantin.
Thank you.